What is up, everyone? Welcome back inside Home Built Workshop. It's been a little bit since an update. The last update, I think I was talking about how my computer had died and I was having trouble getting that thing working. It took a couple of days. Phone always goes off. Come on, phone. Guess that's my own fault for not turning off the sound when I'm trying to do a video, but hey, that is inside Home Built Workshop. We're not editing that out. It's staying. That's what happens. So anyway, my computer, it took me a few more days to get that thing running. Man, I had a lot of trouble. Again, I don't know, I think I explained it in the last video. I didn't replace the C drive or anything. I basically took my storage drive out of my computer, put it into another computer, basically just adding a hard drive, but it changed a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know how that stuff works really. I thought the C drive would stay the C drive, and I'd just be able to add my second drive. Actually, it's the third drive now. But it was trying to boot from my drive, and I had to change a whole bunch of stuff in the BIOS. And I am glad it's up and running temporarily on another computer, so everything is good to go. Did you see the latest video about the French cleat coat rack? Man, I'm happy with that build. That thing worked out really good. It holds my gig bags and everything really nice. I've even got a couple of more items hanging on there that I didn't intend to originally. It's just really handy to be able to slide those hooks over, and I can adjust it and everything fits on there really nice. Like I mentioned in the video, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link down below in the description. I'm probably going to use that idea in the future for guitars. As I'm building more guitars, I'm outgrowing my guitar rack. I probably ought to sell some of those, but I don't want to. What do they call that? GAS, Guitar Acquisition Syndrome? I don't know, something like that. There's another one hanging on the wall right there. It's that one that I just filled the grain on. I don't intend to sell that one either. That's kind of a test piece as I'm trying out some different things and learning in the process. Maybe in the future I might, but that one right there, that mahogany quilted maple top, I'm not gonna sell that one. I do still have about 3-4 pieces of this barnwood that I may make them into some bodies and sell a couple of those in the future. That would be for Haley guitars. I got a couple things going on right now in the shop. I got some epoxy drying on this sanding beam that I'm making. This is sanding beam version 2.0, I guess. My original one is a little bit shorter, and just kind of thrown it together. I mean, there's not a whole lot that goes into it anyway, but I'm making the handles a little bit nicer on the new one, and using a couple of shoulders so the cap slides into the end, the wooden handle, and it'll just be a little bit nicer, and it's a little bit longer. I think this one is 18 inches. The new one that I'm making is 24 inches, so it's just gonna work out a little bit better. I find myself using this thing all the time, so I figured I'd make a second one for a couple reasons. One, because I had a couple ideas of things that I can improve on the handle. This one here, I just cut it to fit in. I actually, on the new one, I'm making the handles fit a little bit better and able to accommodate a clamp if I wanted to clamp it down on an end. Just a couple of changes and improvements that I wanted to make, and that'd be a neat little project. It's a really handy tool. I made it originally for working on guitars, but I found myself using it for a lot of things. It's just a nice flat surface if you need to sand an edge or something like that. So the cool thing I like about it, which you'll see in the video will be coming up. Cool thing I like about it is it's got 4 sides, so you can put sandpaper, and I'm gonna have different grits on this one and that I'll have on the new one, and it's just gonna be really cool. Another thing I'm working on right now, fretboards. I've got fretboards. Fretboards are all slotted for the 3 cigar box guitars that I got going. I've got one that's made out of walnut. From my research, they say walnut's not the best for fretboards because it splinters or chips out or something like that. But I don't know, I did it on the first cigar box guitar, and it seems to be holding up fine. I've got a Bacote one. Don't know how that's gonna work out, but it looks wicked cool. And I've got a flame maple fretboard for one of them. So 3 different fretboards. I've got them all slotted. That's a lot of work too. Using a flush trim saw to cut all the slots. You got to measure each slot. Probably gonna invest in a fret saw that actually has a depth stop, so that you just set your stop and you make your cut, and the depth stop stops the saw from cutting when you reach the proper depth. I can already see that would definitely be worth it. I've probably spent, I don't know, maybe 2 hours working on these, 3 maybe, getting all the slots one by one. Cut one, measure it, cut it again 2 or 3 times to get it right, then move on to the next. It's a lot of work, but they're coming along good. I'm about ready to glue these onto the next. That's gonna be the next thing. I'll glue these on, and then I'll move on to do some more work on the bodies. And my camera battery is dying. Hold on, don't go anywhere. I'm back. What were we talking about? Fretboards? I think it was fretboards. How quickly I forget things. But anyway, like I was saying, got the fretboards all slotted. Just got a little bit of fine tuning left on the nut slots here, and I'll be able to get these things glued on. These things are slowly coming together. It's taking a lot of time. I'm trying to do some projects and stuff in between working on these guitars. If you didn't catch it before, I'm building 3 cigar box guitars. 2 of them are commissions, and I'm gonna keep one of them, I think. It's gonna be a lefty, so if somebody is interested in it, they're gonna have to be a lefty, but 2 of them are gonna be right-handed guitars, and the lefty one I'll probably keep. Gonna be 2 4-strings and 1 3-string like I did already. It's fun. It's definitely, it takes a lot of time as you get into it, and you realize why there's so many specialty tools that make the jobs a lot easier, like that fret saw. I've been using that flush trim saw. I marked them all out with a light cut on my scroll saw, and then adjusted the depth with this flush trim saw. This is a pretty decent saw. It's not all that expensive. It's a Veritas flush trim saw. Not super high end or anything like that, but it measures just the right thickness for cutting fret slots, at least as far as I can tell. I'll find out when I actually get to putting the frets in. Still got to get that fret press put together, but that'll be later on, I think. I probably shouldn't say it too loud, but I think the weather has finally broke. We might be past the snow. We had some about a week ago, last weekend I think it was. Snowed like crazy, didn't accumulate, amount to anything, but we have a fair amount come down. Melted pretty fast because the ground was a little bit warm, but the last couple of days it's been in the 60s and 70s. Things are starting to green up. Seems like here in Colorado we're a lot farther behind than a lot of other areas. And I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and they've got flowers and they're mowing the grass and all that sort of thing, and I'm not even close. We don't even have leaves on the trees yet. The grass is starting to green up, but we'll get there. Seems like it comes later and stays a little bit later than some other areas. I don't know. I'm not familiar with every single area, but I know the East Coast, eastern area that I'm from is way ahead of us, probably weeks. But I'm hoping it's gonna stay, whether it's gonna stay nice. You're able to spend more time outside, doing things around the house, in the yard, going to the park, all that sort of stuff. And also you can work a little bit later. I can work a little later in here because it's a lot more comfortable to work. You don't have to be all bundled up, and look, I actually don't even have a hat. Can you believe that? I did up until a couple of days ago. And even in the mornings, though, I still got to wear it because it's cold. Still in the low 30s, low to mid 30s. So hopefully the weather holds out and spring will finally be here, although it's officially been here for, what, a month? I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, a month. A couple of weeks. So I don't know when it was. But anyway, I'll quit jabbering and I'm gonna get back to work on these. So I hope this video finds you all well. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any episodes. Also, don't forget to head on over to my main page, Home Built Workshop. Links are all below in the description, as well as social media links. Don't forget to head on over to homebuiltworkshop.com, see what's going on over there. Click that local resource page, submit your favorite local store, shop, wood supply place, lumberyard, sawmill, whatever it is. If you like that place and it's local, head on over to homebuiltworkshop.com, click local resources at the top, scroll down past the map, send it to me, and I will get that place added to the map. Got to build that database up there. I'm slowly adding some things, some more places every week, but I want to get that thing rolling a little bit more. So check it out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.